Good Wednesday afternoon to everybody joining. It seems we're gonna wait just one more minute or two to get people in here. I know we had several registrants for this webinar featuring two of our new products, the VTLF, VersaTune Low Frequency product, and the QuietTile LightHood, as well as introducing the music-rated portion of our narrative here as we change our website around and some of our literature. So hopefully we get a few more people coming in here, and we'll get started here in just a second. My name's just quick introductions. My name's Ben Hickey. I'm the Director of Sales for the Room Acoustics and Home Market for Kinetics Noise Control. Joined with me is our Sales Development Specialist, Jason Ehrlich. And Jason's going to be here monitoring the chat. If you have any questions, feel free to bring those up. If it's something that's pertinent, I know sometimes timing's a little weird on these things, as many of you who joined early may have saw my timer messing up. We got in front of that one, thankfully, but he will be watching your questions, and we do certainly want to address those as we move forward here. So we'll find some good times to either stop in the middle of it or address them there at the end. But let's go ahead and get started. So, when we start off talking about what is low frequency, it can mean a number of different things. It can mean a number of different things within different markets. When we're talking residential home theater, it can mean something different than we're talking commercially. But so for those home theater fans, you may understand what a subwoofer crossover is, and that that can mean low frequency. Can also mean bass. This could be a bass guitar, or a bass clef in a music note. Treble, mid, and bass, that's 60 to 300 hertz roughly, is certainly a window to describe it. And it could also be wavelength, as low as 20 hertz, the lower end of the lowest end that we're aware of human hearing. And the answer is, what is low frequency? It's really all three of these. We can describe them in many different ways, but low frequency is just that. It's certainly low, but what it's not is it does not fit in the window of NRC. So if you're familiar, I know we've got a number of different people in this this webinar. NRC, the coefficient average of absorption, takes into account these four frequencies and averages those out. So as you can see, when we talk low end frequency, it's not very representative of that at all. If anything, up to maybe right at that 250 hertz. So when we're talking about the VersaTune Low Frequency, this is our new product. We're going to look back at that hearing spectrum for sound frequency, and let's take a look at a standard 6-pound board panel, 1 inch thick, regular old fiberglass wrapped in fabric, and we're getting a 0.8 NRC. And I know that for the longest time, architects and designers have been taught to take NRC and go find the highest number you can, and that's going to be your best performance. So when we're introducing the VersaTune Low Frequency, you'll find that we have an NRC of 0.35. And some of the questions that we've gotten initially is, why are you proud of that? Well, turns out we're very proud of that. We've achieved very decent, really good absorption numbers down below 125 hertz, as well as killing off below 40% above 250. And that for us means that we're definitely addressing the low frequency numbers that we can with a 2-inch panel. And I think that's the big portion here, is we're taking up a very small footprint with this product. So as we talk about it, the VersaTune Low Frequency page is currently live in the Room Acoustics portion of our website, talking about the different features. And one of the key features that we're noting here is that this has very similar bass or low frequency performance to an 80 hertz bass trap. You can see that we're absorbing about 85% at that frequency. The low profile is the headline there, 2 1/8 inch thick panel. So this is going to install just as easily as our standard hard side VersaTune TAD products. it's a very, very simple product and very cost effective in comparison to other products that that address this this level of frequency. We don't have any wood substrates. You know, we're not installing large frequency specific bass absorbers. We want to tune the space. This is really going to be a product that is about addressing music spaces. Your typical office or restaurant really doesn't call for something of this level. And for the acousticians out there, we're relying very much on your expertise to be able to place this product appropriately in these venues that do require a higher level of when it comes to marrying up the appropriate panel for the space. We can build this in up to a 4 foot by 10 foot size. So that's about the largest we're going to go currently. So the question that we've kind of asked ourselves is, you know, is this needed? Is it needed both in the commercial and the residential space? And the answer is, you know, absolutely. When we talk about what a bass trap is, and those things have been around for a long time, that can mean this corner foam type stuff. I'm sure if you've done any internet perusing for quote unquote bass traps, you've likely seen this foam style product. Sometimes these corner diffuser absorbers are part of that conversation. And many of you have seen these circular cylindrical type of quote unquote low frequency absorbers. Well, with all three of these, in a lot of cases, we may get some data. If we do get it, they're not going to give us a whole lot of information on that. We want to note that our absorption tests for the VTLF product were done as an A mount. Whereas a lot of these, you know, could be J mount, could be a lot of different numbers. And then if we go to our classic, you know, we were beating up at it already, the classic yellow 6-pound fiberglass. This is kind of similar to a product that I know Kinetics may have worked with in the past. We've got to go about 13 inches deep. So with all 4 of these products, to get even maybe relatively close to the same absorption, we're taking up a very large footprint, and we're absorbing quite a bit of cost, and in a lot of cases not getting the performance that we're looking out of that. So we always like to go where, you know, Kinetics is very much in line with the consultants. We're relying on you all to kind of help guide us and put these low frequency absorbers in projects where they're absolutely needed. So we go to Dr. Long's book here, and I know Jason's with me. He's got a good bit to say on this as well, so I'll fumble through it here. But when we're talking about low end absorption, Dr. Long's attitude is, as you're looking at 1,000 hertz, you need about 30% less absorption to absorb around the 63 hertz zone. But that is for unreinforced or music that would be not amplified. If we go to amplification, then we still require that full absorption. But even with the unreinforced music, we still need 70% absorption to be able to address those lower frequencies. And something that he notes in here is that low frequency is, as we talk about with the product themselves, is very difficult to achieve this low frequency due to the weight and thickness of some of the materials in the market today. Jason, did I do that justice in any way, shape, and form?
I think you did, yes. And I think that last point is the key point. You know, one, I don't think a lot of definitely architects on the side of things understand that you do need to take these frequencies so low. But traditionally, it has been a very expensive thing to do through the use of mass systems or fixed systems, and that's where, you know, we think that VersaTune is going to be a real game changer in this field.
So taking a look at what we've considered maybe the gold standard of low frequency for some time, and again at a 2-inch thick panel, RPG's Mod Zorber has certainly peaked around the 160 hertz range while dying off pretty well here above 250 hertz with a slight spike at 1,000. And so with ours, we believe we've achieved, obviously their numbers go above the 1.0. which is 100% absorption. So anything above that is still a 1.0. We're at 85% absorption, but down at the 80 hertz range. We feel we die off really nicely with a slight spike there at about 315. So this is, again, a very low frequency target absorber for the size that it is. And basically, we're saying anything realistically below 125 is really going to be considered true low frequency absorption. There's other products out there on the market that may address or claim they address low frequency, but RPG was the lowest we could find in comparison to what we're working with here. So then, this VersaTune low frequency product is certainly worth the conversation about the music rated, as we're going to be calling it, and spaces that are involving music, whether they be choral rooms, auditoriums in the commercial space, or even theaters for the residential space. They really need a different treatment. They need a more sophisticated hand than, say, the dog kennels of the world that may have certainly noise issues, but there's the subtle nuances. We want to make sure that the timpanis and the piccolos are getting the same sound out, and one's not overwhelming the other. And that's what, timpanis are very hard to keep that low frequency down. So our idea here is music rated products, and that's where we're really going to zero in on the products that perform differently from your standard 6-pound board or your high impact boards. This would include our VersaTune, TAD, and now the VersaTune low frequency products in the market. Doesn't mean that hard sides and the 6-pound board doesn't have its place. It's just when we get to these levels, we want to make sure that we're addressing that appropriately. Jason, anything you want to mention about music rated that maybe that I have not?
I guess I will add, for those of you who are used to that VersaTune product and now this VersaTune low frequency, we really do feel like we've kind of cracked a manufacturing code in producing these panels. And give us some time with this music rated thing. We can see that we can see quite a few products rated for very specific frequencies coming out, because, as I mentioned, I think we have kind of figured out the secret sauce to make that happen in a low profile, lightweight product. So we're excited.
Absolutely, and this is certainly a program for us that we want to focus our R&D on, with more products that are going to be targeted for either specific ranges or specific frequencies. So look for more as we come to the future. So back to solely the commercial spaces, QuietTile has definitely been one of our more popular products for addressing office-to-office noise with a high CAC type of product. So that ceiling attenuation class, the one thing that ACT tiles out there may be good for is maybe some NRC absorption levels, but a lot of them don't address with decent numbers the ceiling attenuation class issues. So when people say their offices have paper thin walls, typically that's going to be a CAC issue more than it is going to be a STC or through the wall issue. So as we look at that, we generally want to avoid CAC products if noise is an issue between spaces that are below 40, and some of these products get down to 33 and 35, which is very common. This is going to be a lightweight product, that mineral fiber board. You're probably sitting maybe under it, some of it right now. But obviously what can happen is noise traveling through that plenum will make it into that adjacent space if not properly treated. There are some high CAC products on the market, which we're going to talk about here in a second, but not many of them. The unique advantage of the QuietTile system is that it's an engineered product to somebody's specific tile. So when we're looking at this product, it's going to be anybody's facing tile. So this could be USGs, Armstrongs, Certainty. It doesn't matter whom. We can certainly match our system to meet the needs of any tile, even upwards of the odd sizes of 2x6. We tested this with the Cortega 790, which has a starting CAC, I believe, about 33. And with the optional 1-inch fiberglass, we achieved a CAC of 51, 49 without the glass. So this is definitely something that a product that is going to be versatile in its ability to match any tile look, and we do this a lot in renovation projects as well as new build. It has been VOC compliance tested by Berkeley Analytical, so we did match not only the office, but I believe the school rating of that. So adding that, the idea here is that we're going to be taking away some of that space and certainly making adjacent office spaces a lot more livable. So what we've added, the new product to this system, we've had questions for this before, is that the QuietTile itself was not addressing some of the holes that get created, and lights are certainly part of that. So the QuietTile LightHood is available standard as a 2x2 or a 2x4 piece. It's a one-piece unit with simple installation. Field fabrication can be done realistically with, you can punch holes with a screwdriver. You can cut slits in it with a utility knife. It's very easy and very lightweight. So comparison to maybe some of the products that are on the market today, I know Privacy Shield is one that's available online. Comparatively from our performance with our impedance tube testing, we're certainly getting better performance out of that product in the speech ranges. And usually for a cheaper price. If we're looking this from also an installation standpoint, the Privacy Shield, while they show a one-piece unit, is actually a multi-piece system. And as they're bringing those up to get them through the grid, it does require a polymer adhesive at the joints, as well as some tape. Our product is meant to operate singularly. So it's flexible enough to be able to squeeze in there. We have the QuietTile, squeezes between the grids, and then when it gets dropped into place, holes are punched for the electrical wiring, and then we can certainly treat that after the fact with the optional fiberglass. So the QuietTile system, we've got a new look. We applied a new logo to it. The new page certainly features this LightHood, and we do have another product coming in either Q3 or Q4, depending on when we get the testing back, that's going to address some of the air return vent systems. And that's going to be the final piece to the puzzle for us that will certainly make a space a lot quieter in between those adjacent joints. So be on the lookout for that new system as it comes. And the future, realistically, of a lot of products. We've introduced the clean PET line of products back in October of 2020. And then our reintroduction of the Health Guard product. That is the antimicrobial fabric wrapped systems that are both bleach cleanable as well as antimicrobial. And then here in Q3 of 21, we are introducing both QuietTile and the VersaTune Low Frequency. And then we've got a few new products coming, as well as a paintable product here this upcoming, during this quarter later on. So thank you for joining us. I'm going to let Jason kind of take over as he's manning the chat. If you have any questions, we'd love to address them right now.
We actually do have a question, and I don't know the answer. Do you have that LightHood sample in your office that you could put a tape on how tall it is? It's what, about 6 or 7 inches, maybe, somewhere in there.
Caught me at a good time.
As we're waiting for questions to come in, I'm looking over the guest list here, and I'm seeing quite a few consultants, and I think I'll take advantage of that and ask a question to them if I could. Ben mentioned we want to do some testing. We've got the new product coming along with the LightHood for QuietTile. We've got some quotes to do the CAC testing, but we would really like to do a field test setup with that, where we can do 10 or 20 questions at the same cost to try to run things with and without these products. I've not been able to find any kind of a field CAC standard. So if any of the wonderful consultants listening in can either drop an email to the marketing follow-up you'll get with this, or in the comments, I would be much obliged. Thanks.
And to answer the height question there, which is a good one, I do have the 2x2 here in my office, and I believe they are the same height. It's 6 inches to the overall height, and the thickness of the product itself is roughly about 5/8 of an inch nominally. I believe that applies to the 2x4 LightHood as well. And if we're talking about installation on this product, it is meant to sit as a tent over the light. So we do ask in the installation guide that we provide some sort of spacer between the top metal of the light itself and the light hood overall. But we want to certainly tent the top of it. This is not a direct contact product. It is plenum rated. It has fire tested very, very well. So we're very confident in that.
And still waiting for questions to come in. And as a piece of education, if you're not familiar, plenum rating on that Class A means you can't have smoke develop more than 50. So this is a very, very, very fire resistant and smoke resistant product.
Correct. Excellent. Well, hey, I want to thank everybody for joining us today. We will be doing one more of these webinars to feature the introduction of these products. So if there's anybody that you feel would be interested in learning more about both the VersaTune Low Frequency and the QuietTile LightHood, as well as the music rated product introductions that we're making here, please pass along the information. We can't wait to see everybody in the final intro here for our last webinar in August. Take care, everyone.